years back. You know what I'm saying? You cannot knock out communication because it has happened. So now you don't have a communications with the public and you don't have the communications with the officers. That itself is just, that should be zero tolerance,
Yeah.
period.
But,
So security breaches like those, and then like I just said, that one man recon, you you don't have adequate security that's supposed to secure. And you're right, we should not be in a residential area. And you miss the fact that not that only did they break into cars, people were accosted.
yeah.
I even asked the lady myself, why are you walking your dog in our parking lot? This is a secure private
Mhm,
parking lot. What are you
mhm.
doing in here?
Yeah, you're right, MJ.
She went on to try
Um,
to question me, about why am I asking
mhm.
her?
You're right. A couple people did come to roll call and say that people came up to them and chased them in the parking lot. Yeah.
Mm.
And there have been times when we should know. I mean, when you're at work, you should know who each person is. You should know who they are, why they're there. And there have been times when I've seen people there, I didn't know who they were, and I did say something. And that shouldn't happen. That, and as you said, Clarence,
Exactly.
that place was built for 911 personnel. And they
Mhm.
put all of these other departments in there. The place was never meant for that. And it's just, but we're going to keep talking so we can talk about what could possibly happen for the people who have to continue to go there and work. What happens for them as far as developing a culture of more secure, feeling of being safe at work?
Well, see, you have to first off, you have to change the atmosphere. And when you change the atmosphere, that will help to give them the impetus that maybe somebody really gives a shit about me. Maybe somebody really cares. Maybe if they see what they would be viewed as common sense things happening, that if you as a non-professional security person can see that there are holes in your situation, then you expect somebody who is responsible for security to see the same thing and do something about it. But uh, your statement about there are uh, there are units and there are departments in that building that shouldn't be there. That building was not built for many of the departments or units that are there now. I mean, they took the roll call room away from you, and from what I understand, it was still in operation when I was there. But uh, now I guess the roll call room has been turned into something, and it they took the quiet rooms away. That everything that was built into that building initially is no longer there. That was built for the specific purpose of addressing the issues of the personnel who work on the 911 floor. We even did a staffing study. You've probably heard about it. We did a staffing study in 1998 that
Mm-hmm.
when I left, the recommendations, and I left in 2014, and the recommendations that we put in that study in 1998 were still apropos to 2014 when I left, because the people that worked on it were all individuals had uh, who had policing background. When we first came over there, we were all of the supervisors were retired sergeants and lieutenants. Uh, we understood what the importance of communications was. And it just went from, they didn't take our recommendations. I mean, that study was almost 100 pages. And after we did it, they took it and put it on a shelf. They didn't use it. And to this day, there were recommendations in there that would be apropos to today, but they never used it. One of the things we really got into was staffing. After a period of time, the 911 center has never been staffed properly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. From the very, very beginning. Well, from the time that I went there was 2000. So that was the very beginning for me. And it only got worse. And as more of the retired police staff left, management style, the quality of management style went out the door with you all. So
yeah, and that's true. When they got rid of the core, what they call the core cadre, I don't know if you all remember those guys. They were all retired police dispatchers, and they ran training, and they were an integral part of the operation of the communications center.
Oh, and
they were there for 5 years, and they got rid of them. And it was all because of this mantra of, well, we're flipping. This is going to be a total civilian run location. And I don't know if you all realize it, but I was the last retired police officer to be there.
Yeah.
I was the last one.
Yeah, believe me, we noticed.
We know. Is Miss Barclay still with us?
Yeah, I was checking on her. Delisha, are you here? I don't know. I sent her a message, so I hope she jumps in.
Sure people.
Yeah, me too. I hope she can jump in before we leave. I definitely want to hear her input. But I'm so happy that that we decided to talk about this today, because it is so important. And I've often wondered, and then with all of these shootings that happen, and particularly the one in Atlanta, those people were at work. Those people were at work too, and all those folks were shot. And to talk about the response of one of the the sheriff, and then the captain there.
Oh,
yeah. It was to think that the guy was just having a bad day. He was having a bad day, so he decided to go here and shoot all these people because they were tempting him, because of his personal issues that was tempting him. So he decided to go there and shoot all of these people, and that was the sheriff's response. And then I read later on the captain's social media pages, because if you have a social media page and you say something stupid, they're definitely gonna go there. Somebody's gonna go find it and bring it right to the media. And he, in his social media, he was making fun of making references to Asian people and making fun of it. So let me see if I still have it.
Oh my God, you got to be kidding.
No, he let me see. He said on his, I believe it was, let me look really fast, something about a t-shirt, that he had a photo of 2 t-shirts. This is the captain, Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. And he had a photo of 2 t-shirts that said COVID-19 imported virus from China, like he spelled it CHY -NA. And as if, it's perpetuating that ignorant mess that Trump had been spewing since all of this began, and just continuing with his racist hate rhetoric from the time of his campaign. And you see, that type of thing can cause just what we saw, those people being
Mhm.
killed. So I did a little research and I pulled up NPR's take on it. And we had a congressman or some politician from California, elected official, and he said he doubted that the situation would be handled properly because of the attitudes of the people who were in charge.
Well, see, what we
You
have to
gotta
look
get away
at
with it.
and understand is that from from the top leaders, previous leaders, that and some we still have. They're in the Senate and the House of the U.S. Senate and House now, but people have been allowed to let their feelings be known that they had for a long time suppressed, but because of the political climate for the past 4 years, folks have been emboldened to act out the way they have felt for a long time, to say things that 5 years ago they wouldn't have said. Now they feel comfortable saying these things. And when that captain made that statement, that reminded me of some police officers that I have been around, and I've heard them say some things. And when you let them know that, hey, you cannot say that around me, or they'll try and tell a racial joke, and you have to check them and say, no, I don't tell racial jokes and I don't listen to them. But I've been around individuals who tried that, but it wasn't to the point that it's at now, where they don't look to see whether you mind or not. They just say what they want to say.
And then your response should be the same.
Mm-mm.
And I want them to be emboldened, and I want them to say what they want to say, and just be prepared for my response. And the thing is, no, don't express it, because we need to know exactly who these people are. So my
Oh,
thing
well,
is,
we're finding out now.
don't hide, don't hide it. Let it come out. And he
Yeah.
don't need his job anymore. And thank God for the internet. I mean, it has its ups and downs, or there's negatives and there's positives. If this wasn't here, this internet, it would be the same old business as usual. Now they're
Yeah,
being called out on it. And that's right. Call them out on it. Call them out on it. You know?
Mhm.
But also too, with Asian people, they go about their business, and they're very unassuming. You know what I'm saying? And now the thing is, in these times, these other groups of people, instead of when we get jumped, I mean, when we have our issues and we have to take action and stuff, no, everybody else is silent. So now maybe
exactly.
not to be silent, because when you're silent, this continues to happen. No, when you have the masses against the smaller group, then a whole lot of stuff will stop, I believe. you
Yeah.
know but it
Yeah.
takes everybody to do that. But see, everybody else go and run and hide until the storm is over. Well, that's not happening anymore. It's not happening anymore.
Mhm.
And the
No.
thing is, come out
No.
of the closet and face it and deal with it.
Mhm. And that's what
Face it and deal.
that's what we've always said on this show too, MJ, is that um, it's an attitude. A lot of this culture, American culture, a lot of it is, oh, that's them. Oh, that's happening to them. That's not
Absolutely.
happening to us. So we don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that's them. But you cannot stand and in silence when you see all of this happening, when you know it's wrong. You have to come in alliance with the people who are fighting for justice, who are fighting for their rights. because next time could be you. You never know
Exactly.
who they're going to
Everybody gets their
choose
turn
next
in
time.
these Americas. Yep,
Exactly.
everybody gets their turn in these Americas. You're going to get your turn.
Yeah, and it
You're going to get
definitely, if you stand in silence because you think, just as I said, it's them, it's not us. We live in this world together. What's going to affect some of us is inevitably going to affect all of us. So you have to keep that
exactly.
in front of you. And when you see something unjust, stand up, say something. Your silence is equals agreement.
Exactly. And when we enact change, they don't understand. You all are benefiting from it. When affirmative action, all of that was done. When the civil rights, all of that, everybody else benefited from it. You know, but that goes uneducated. I mean, that goes unseen, and people don't care.
And you know what?
And you can't be in this country just because you're of another ethnicity, but your skin is white, and it's okay. I'm gonna just stay right here. I'm not going to get involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you benefit from the change each and
Mm-hmm.
every time, because so
Mm-hmm.
now you're a minority when
And
it
and and right, and
when
that
it
goes
suits.
for every 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 ethnic group that are, that are different from white. We have to realize
Exactly.
that this is real, and it's not
Right.
going anywhere, because there's a culture of hate that's almost, it is taught and is nurtured on that side. So you have to be proactive, and you have to be aware, and you have to stand in alliance with people who are fighting for those rights that you said, MJ, that all minorities benefit from. So don't think
Exactly.
that you're gonna go, oh, we're just gonna be quiet because that's not us. We don't have anything to do with that. We're not gonna say anything. We're gonna stay out of it. Well, guess what? They picked you out anyway. They picked you out anyway because of the whole culture of hate and ignorance and just wickedness.
Yeah. And I like I tell some non-African people, African American people, we don't have a place to go back to. We don't. We don't know anything about Africa. That might be our ancestry, but we don't have a place to go back to.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
Most of
we're
the
here.
immigrants are over here. You all have places to go back to: China, Japan,
Mhm.
Iraq, Ireland. I mean, you have places to go back to. You may have grown up here in Americas or whatever, but your ethnicity is present, and you have a
Mhm.
place to go back to.
And too, those family
Africa,
ties are
there's a
still
lot of
present
Africans
too,
over
MJ.
here. Huh?
Those family ties are still present for a lot of different
Exactly.
ethnic groups. They're still there.
Exactly.
Ours is cut. It's been severed
Exactly.
400 years. So you're
So,
right.
and even when they make reference, go back to Africa. We're not African. Our ancestry came. We did not. They were procreated with, where they had other children. I mean, had the children with their slave masters and stuff that brought them over here, and that's who we are. And sometimes, historically, I look at it as us being nomads. People may not
Mhm.
agree with that, but where is our foundation? Right
Right.
here in America, as a Black American, this is our foundation. This is what we know. And America is a melting pot. Everybody comes here for a so-called better life. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So even those
Everyone.
extremists that didn't like America didn't get out.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
didn't get out.
Yeah.
But
We
I
didn't.
I
We didn't
can't
come here like that.
identify with nothing. I can't identify with nothing else but America.
True.
I can't.
Well,
My ancestors
that's
might be there, but I can't.
right. And that's a statement that I always make. If once we travel abroad or any place, they're not looking at us as African. They're looking at us as American, because that is what we are. Culturally, we're American.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's just the darn truth. Now
And
I want to
people may
ask
not
you,
agree, but
mhm, it's true. I mean, culturally, that's who you are. Basically,
Yeah.
that's who you are. And of course, you know, we ethically we're of African descent. We of course we know that. But you know, as you said, a lot of the Asian people, they're born and raised here. This is what who they're American too. But you know, we just,
But
as I
see,
was saying, that culture of hate is, that to me is, should never be tolerated, ever. And it was tolerated for 4 years from the White House, from the White
Yeah.
House.
right, yeah. And that was the point that I was making, is the fact that when we talk about the hate and the discontent and the divisiveness that is going on in this country now, it came from the highest part of this government that we have. It came from the White House. And people bought into it because they took the position that the highest elected official in this country is
Mhm.
saying the things that I want to hear, or the things that I'm thinking. So if it's all right for him to say it, then it's all right for me to not only say it, but to
But act on it.
act on it, to do the things that I have really wanted to do for a long time, but I wasn't sure if I had the support. But when they feel that they got the support, and then you got other elected, national elected officials who are espousing the same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're just building them up, and they're doing stuff now that uh, 5 years ago they weren't doing on the scale that they're doing it on now. When you look at
Mhm.
what 250 something laws have been introduced to suppress voting since the last election. I mean,
Wow.
it's like in your face stuff that they're doing now. Before they try to hide it a little bit, but they're coming out with it now. It's like, we don't want you to vote.
This
250
government,
laws have been introduced to suppress voter registration
Right.
all
yeah,
throughout
they
the
go
U.
through it every 4 years. They go through. They trying to get rid of it, and they're
But
trying to
not
get
on
rid of
this scale.
They're
See,
trying to
not on this scale.
the get rid of people's right to register or vote.
it. I think
Both.
overall to vote. Period.
Right.
Both. See,
Yeah,
if you can't register, then you can't
You
vote.
can't
can't
vote.
vote. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Vote.
Right. So it's both of them that they're trying to prevent people from registering, and then they're trying to, on the other hand, cut out the ability for people to vote, because they're shutting down voting places that used to be open. They're cutting out mail-in balloting situations. They're doing everything that was made easier for people to vote. They're eliminating
Mm,
those
mm.
those things, in addition
Yeah.
to suppressing through registration. They're making it harder for you to even register to try and vote. They're
Mhm.
telling you got to have certain documentation, you got to have this, you got to have that, when you didn't need it before. And they're moving, they'll tell you that you need a driver's license to vote, so for identification, but then they'll close the DMZ that's in your neighborhood or that's in your area, especially in a rural area. And if you don't have transportation to drive the 50 or 60 miles to the
Mm,
nearest
mm,
one,
mm.
you can't get in, you can't get the identification that they say you need in order to vote. And you've
So
been voting right.
So Trump did this on the way out the door. Am I right?
Not just him. People have done this. Even Obama was in
So
office.
this has been okay. So this has been
This is
building.
ongoing
They've
thing for years.
compiled these.
Yeah, it's been building.
When
And
you look at the overall picture, they want to be able to choose who, when the electoral college voted him in, that right there told me they confirmed that they really just want to be able to pick and choose who they want for president and vice president.
Well,
They
see,
they want to be able to do that and take away people's rights to do that. It's almost like we're becoming a dictatorship country. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I really believe that the powers that be, these
Mm-hmm.
one percenters, do not do not want this country to be in the hands of the citizens. And see, I forgot his name. An ex-French
Mm-hmm.
president said the country does the parliament, uh, doesn't run the country. The country runs it. The people run the country. You know what I'm saying?
it's just
Voting
getting
started
people
because
to
the people
understand
started
that.
to demand it. You
Yeah.
know,
Exactly,
and
because
I
I'm
really
thinking,
believe
what are
they want to
the
go
people
back
who
to that,
oppose?
a country of servitude.
What
I
are the
really
people
think
who
that
oppose these things that are happening? Where are they?
They
Where
they
are
are
your
there.
they?
they are your state legislators.
Yeah.
They
So what are they
and see,
doing?
this is
Just
what
drinking coffee and sleeping, or what are they doing?
they're presenting laws because see, each state controls their own electoral process.
Yeah.
And what we have to understand is the power is in the states. And we have to be more cognizant of the local. When I say local, I mean the people that we send down to Springfield here in
That's
Illinois.
right. Mm-hmm.
We have to be
Haven't I been saying that for years?
of
Yes.
what these people's agenda is and to make sure that they are paying attention to what is going on, because that's where the laws are made that govern your and my ability to vote,
Mm-hmm.
my ability to do the things that will going to impact us down the road. It's through the states. When you hear the term states' rights, you better pay attention to that.
Wow.
Exactly. But see, government can come in and take away all the rights from each governor and take away all the rights for each governor, and they can make the decisions. So
Great discussion, guys.
It's, I mean, MJ, you said it before, from the time you get up, and I've read it other places too, all we do is fight. And you have to be looking out and looking over your shoulder and paying attention to the path that you're on, because they're busy trying to snatch things away from, and actually doing it, not
All the
trying,
time.
but actually doing it.
yeah,
So, and then when you talk about a law, that's something that, especially these type of laws that affect voting, that most definitely will change our whole way of life.
Oh,
If it is,
absolutely.
I don't trust all this stimulus stuff. I really don't.
yeah,
I don't trust
yeah,
any of it. Where are y'all getting the money from? That's
yeah.
taxpayers' money.
Well, I want to
And I
say,
understand people are struggling and everything, and that money should go back to the people. But when you look at history historically, why are we paying taxes? So
right.
I mean,
Well,
I know why, but I'm just saying how all of this came about. And I just personally, I just don't trust it. I mean, with
well,
everything
I
that's
get
been
that,
going on
right.
decade or
But
two, I don't
a
trust
lot
a
of the
lot
other
of it.
countries, MJ, they've been um, giving their citizens a $2,000 a month stipend since it started. We're the only
Yeah,
ones that barely got $1,000 since it's
because the
for the
people
whole
it's
time.
actually it's the people's money. That's the thing. It's the people's money. It's their money. Government wouldn't run without the people. It's the people's money, and I understand why they do, but it's just as of not as of late. It's like when they do something. Oh, we want to make sure that we do this. Government. If we're paying you with our wages, government should be taking care of the people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about public aid and all this other stuff. Like people probably all the people shouldn't even be. When you look at the breakdown, the majority of our tax dollars go towards defense. I did a breakdown and people were astonished because people always like people all on public aid and this and that. Yeah, I bet you some of you all wish y'all had public aid right now that ain't working and they ain't getting the unemployment. Why is the unemployment system so bad right now here
Oh
in
my
Illinois?
gosh.
Why
It's
you have
horrible.
antiquated why you have antiquated systems that have not been date updated in 20 years
Hmm.
with all this technology that's going on,
Right.
and people have to pay their rent. That was money that was put aside by people out of their pockets when they were working. That's their
Right.
money. So for people
Right.
to say, "Oh, you trying to live off the state and the government," no, you pay into unemployment, you pay into Social Security with your wages.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gail,
Why
Before
you got
and
people
before
Gail
we
was
waiting
8:35.
on their
I know.
paychecks?
No, I was going to say before we go, I just want to thank a couple of people that I noticed who logged on. They're our faithful viewers, some of them anyway. We have Samela Rogers and Determined Forever and Ever. And today we have Lorraine
Hey,
Taylor. Lorraine Taylor, y'all,
hey,
she
Lorraine.
Hey, Lorraine.
and she says she's telling us you all are hitting on all the real social issues of right now. And we must keep informing our people about the power of voting because they're trying everything to keep us out. And you're absolutely right, Lorraine. We do our best. We do our best to, stay with the pulse of the community and current issues, stay informed, and help our folks stay aware and what we can do, try to get ahead of it. So, all right. Thank you, Clarence and MJ, for joining us, and for the viewers. God bless you, and look out for your neighbor. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time on Shypanther and Friends. That's all I got for today.
Okay.
All
Okay.
righty. Good night,
Okay.
all.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Good night.
Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Okay.